I don't know, this is kind of sobering. Despite the title, I am in perfect health, so it was dramatic, but last night I woke up from this dream, and I don't remember much about it, but I do remember that my doctor had just given me 1 year to live. And I looked at my phone, it was like 5 in the morning, and I gotta wake up in an hour anyway, and I'm just sitting there like, but it stuck with me, like, what would I do if I had cancer, and I had 1 year, and it was definitely cancer, and I had 1 year to live. I mean, what would I do differently? I mean, would I keep working, or would I need to keep working? I don't know how that works. I mean, I certainly gotta pay my rent. That's not gonna go away just because you're dying from whatever. Or would I, but what would the things that are really important to me be? What would I keep around? I'm like, I would love to keep working on this stuff. One of the first things I thought of is man, being somebody on that kind of clock would really change how I write. It would really change how I tweet and what I tweet about. This is an actual thought that I had. I mean, it was 5 in the morning, but I thought, how would I talk about this on Twitter? And I would want to talk about it on Twitter because it would be an important part of me and what was going on. But, and would people be supportive and would they be around? I mean, how would I deal with things like chemo and the changes that happened to you from that? And I thought about how it would change the relationships I have with people in my life. And it was really sort of sobering. I mean, I realized that there are some things that I would really want to do differently from here on out. I mean, and it's not the sort of wishy-washy, live as though today were your dying day. Never live as though today were your dying day. If you did, you would eat all the bacon. All the bacon. And you would do this because you have nothing to lose. Well, I would have something to lose. I had to think about how would I handle money and how would I do that, and what kinds of things am I leaving behind? What kinds of projects am I working on that I would want people to continue? I mean, things like headshots, where I would want them to live past me. I mean, not in some sort of like Great Wall of China, leave a mark on the world, but at the very least, I would want them to continue. They're bigger than me. And it's important that they be bigger than me. I mean, I would want to keep making music. And I would want to keep making videos and blog posts and putting them on the web, because, I mean, that would be... It's a really important part of how I express myself. And I think it would help me, for one thing, it would help me deal with the stress of that. But the other thing that I realized is the uncertainty of it. I mean, that clock that they put you on isn't real. It's an idea. I mean, they say you've got 1 year to live. I mean, some people live well past that. I mean, I feel like I would spend every waking moment gearing up for this fight that I might never have, or that I might need desperately the next day. And I can only imagine what maintaining that kind of readiness takes out of you. And I mean, and it wouldn't just be me. It would be everybody I care about. It would be everybody who cares about me, more importantly. I mean, knowing that one day I would have this fight. And if I win, odds are I have to do it again at some point. And I thought about the last moment. I thought about, what it would be like. And I mean, it's sort of your imaginary deathbed. It was 5 in the morning, and it was really sort of a depressing time. But I don't know. I feel good about it. And I imagine myself laying there and saying something really insightful as my family and my friends are around me. And the kinds of things I would want to say. And I think one of the books that I read that I highly recommend reading, and I don't know about the whole series, but it was Frank Herbert's Dune. And in it, there are these warrior people called the Freemen. And they have this saying, they say, always be among people you would die with. And I think that if I took that to heart, there in that room, when it actually came down to it, I would be in pretty good company. The people I have in my life are so important to me. And there are people, I always say that I have been fortunate enough to meet people where upon seeing them I go, if I do right by this person, they will be my friend forever. And more importantly, they will be a friend worth having forever. And so it's interesting. I mean, a lot of the time when you think about these kinds of things, you think about all the things that you do differently. I mean, that's exactly what I did. But it also made me think of all the things that I wouldn't trade for anything in the world. And how many of those things I have. Whether it's figuring out that I love making music, or spending all those years studying philosophy, or all the people I've met and all the things I've learned and from them. So what would you do? What is one big change or big thing that would stay the same if you had 1 year left? Let me know in the comments or on Twitter, because it's something I've been thinking about. But this is not an announcement. I am, as I said, perfectly fine. Yeah, today's video is kind of serious. I'll see you guys tomorrow.